Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Cyber Saturday. And what I want to talk to you about this Cyber Saturday is World Backup Day, which happens every March 31st. It's a couple weeks after St. Patrick's Day, so you get a chance to recover and then start thinking about something that's not quite so fun as St. Patrick's Day is World Backup Day. But World Backup Day is there to remind people to make sure that they back things up. In fact, they ask you to take the World Backup Day pledge, which is, I solemnly swear to back up my precious data and business data, something along that lines. But I wanted to talk about 5 areas where people may not back up their data. It's stuff that's often overlooked. And so we're going to look at those 5 areas. Number 1 is your phone. Now, a lot of times, people think their phones are backed up, but they're not. You want to go into your Android or iPhone, make sure that you have backup settings turned on. If you don't know how to do that, you could go to your AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon store and say, how do I back up my phone? Call your IT department if it's corporately managed and make sure it's backed up. Because what you lose when you lose your phone is not just the calls and stuff. You may lose your contacts. You lose those precious photos that you have of a wedding or birthday, something like that. Okay. One easy way to make sure that you get those photos backed up is throw on Google Photos on your phone and then check the settings on that to have it back up the full images and that'll back it up. One thing that often stops that is that you run out of space. And so you want to make sure that you have paid for the additional space on your phone backups. Okay. Number 2 is your computer. And I know people think that they have their corporate stuff backed up, but it's that stuff that may not be caught. It's the desktop, it's their My Documents, it's things like that. Check with your IT department. If you're corporate, make sure that they're backing the stuff up. If it is your personal computer, the easiest way to back up all that stuff on that computer is to install something like Carbonite or another backup software. And then once you install that, make sure those places where you store data are actually up in the cloud. Go out to the cloud and make sure that your My Documents is actually up there. Make sure that important stuff, you want to do a little risk assessment of your personal computer and make sure that where you save your budget, where you save your accounting, where you save your Thanksgiving recipes are all backed up to the cloud. Go check the cloud out. Next thing is thumb drives. Number 3, thumb drives and external drives and other things like that. I still run into people that use a thumb drive or an external hard drive as their primary means of storage. And that's because they walk around, they go to meetings, and they share it with people. Well, if you do that and that thumb drive has critical data on it, make sure you back it up. Make sure you back it up at least to your computer where then it gets picked up by Carbonite or something. But you can also copy it off to another thumb drive. So if you have 2 USB drives in your computer, plug one into the other, copy that data off, and make sure you confirm that data is actually good. Open it up on another computer, try it out, make sure you do that. But don't rely on an external hard drive or a thumb drive to be there forever. Thumb drives are incredibly easy to lose, and external hard drives, because they get bumped around, have a very high failure rate. Okay, number 4, we're going to talk about backing up the cloud. And you say, well, wait a minute, it's out of QuickBooks Online or it's at Dropbox. Aren't they backing that stuff up? In general, yes, they back up the large scale backups of it. They back up their infrastructure. But where people get into trouble most of the time is on the granular recovery. So they may not be able to help you recover one file, one something. So there's a couple ways to do it. There are tools that will back up the cloud for a fee. And you can find those by Googling how to back up Dropbox or something or OneDrive. The other thing is you can go to each of these platforms has a way to export it, and especially if it's a file storage thing like Dropbox or something. But if you're out at a cloud solution to run your business, so QuickBooks Online or a hosted QuickBooks solution, you may have to go and just do an export of your data once a week to make sure that if bad things happen that you're okay. And those have happened before. There's been some QuickBooks hosts that have shut down or have been encrypted for weeks on end. And if that happens to a CPA in tax season, that's just a horrible, horrible thing to have happen. So make sure that you're taking control of those cloud solutions and backing it up. At the enterprise level, there are automated tools that get all that stuff. Okay. And finally, number 5, I want to talk about your email. If you're out at 365 or Google, you may think that everything's backed up again, but just recently around, I think it was around Thanksgiving time, Rackspace, they had an exchange environment that all their clients, and these include municipalities, it wasn't just little mom and pop shops, they thought that Rackspace, because they're a huge enterprise environment, was backing all their data up. Well, they got encrypted and lost, at least for months, their clients' data. And so they had nowhere to turn. So what those clients could have done, and what you should do if you don't have an enterprise IT department making sure that stuff's backed up, is once in a while, once a week or so, once a month, go into your Outlook, go into your Thunderbird, whatever you're using to manage your email, and go to file and export, whatever way to do that on your particular platform. And so you just, Google's your friend. Say, go to Google, say, how do I back up my Outlook email? Or how do I back up my MacBook email? There's a ton of tutorials out there. Generally, it's something along the lines of file, export, and then naming a file, and then making sure everything moves out. Then don't leave that on your computer. Make sure you copy it to a thumb drive, put it in the safe, and make sure that's protected. So those are 5 quick things to remind you to look at for things to back up this for World Backup Day. And sorry, World Backup Day is not quite as fun as St. Patty's Day, but still it's an important day to recognize and to make sure that you're protected. If you have questions on any of this, give us a call at Colorado Computer Support. Our phone number is 719-439-0599. Or you can find us on the web at www.coloradosupport.com. And I hope you take a moment out of your day to celebrate, maybe have a beer for World Backup Day or something. So hope to see you next week. If you like these, please subscribe to them and share them out to your friends and give us a thumbs up.